Hand to hand.
June's just around the corner, and that means the E3 Expo 2017 is about to take place. Even though the game industry will probably announce a load of new games, June also tends to be the month in which the number of game releases heavily decreases. Game companies think we'll all be out on expensive holidays and have no money to spend on games. Boy, are they wrong. Let's have a look at the games we can buy in June 2017.
It began in death. Loved ones sacrificed for survival.
If you've got beef with someone, now's the time to settle it. After an arcade release in Japan some time ago, Tekken 7 is finally making an appearance in the rest of the world. Story-wise, this game is about the epic conclusion of the Mishima clan and its struggles.
But each believes that they must win. At all costs.
The 7th main entry in the Tekken series has seen many familiar faces and some new ones. Fights aren't only about attacking and blocking anymore because the so-called Power Crusher moves are capable of dealing damage while absorbing it. But this only works on mid and high attacks, leaving you vulnerable for low attacks. This and much more is supposed to make Tekken 7 the next best thing in the fighting game genre.
Fight will end. Face to face.
Sony's Liverpool Studios has been closed for a while, but that doesn't mean the Wipeout series has been forgotten. Especially for the PlayStation 4 Sony, which has remastered some of the best from the Wipeout series. We are talking about Wipeout HD, Wipeout HD Fury, and Wipeout 2048. All will be running at 1080 with 60 frames per second, or even in 4K and 60 frames per second on the PlayStation 4 Pro. Now we know this ain't a real new game, but the Amiga collection sure packs a whole lot of fun. We were already talking about racing, so why not drive on with a less futuristic racing game? Dirt 4 is as down-to-earth as racing can possibly get. It's the latest game in the famous off-road racing series that packs 50 different vehicles ranging from buggies to cars to trucks. The game has a simulation mode for those who really want to go hardcore, while the more Academy Gamer mode is something more suitable for a bit more of a casual approach. Dirt 4 is the official game for the FIA World Rallycross Championships, but also packs other races like the RX Lights, supercars, or the Pro Buggies. You can generate your own routes with the touch of a button. Unfortunately, this game does not offer split-screen mode, which is a bit of a bummer, but you can always let people eat dirt while racing online.
Enter the MotoGP eSport Championship.
If you prefer motorbikes over cars, this month has got you covered as well. As long as you live in Europe. MotoGP 17 will release in Europe in June, but North American gamers will have to wait until July 11. This is the game that offers you the 2017 MotoGP competition. All teams, bikes and tracks are in it. There's even a new mode that allows you to be a manager. So, it will be your responsibility to build a team and win the prizes. The developers promise an experience that runs at 60 frames per second. With 3 racing games planned for this month, fans of that genre are in for a treat. Perhaps this is a new take on Punch-Out, but we don't know for sure. What we do know is that Nintendo has high hopes for ARMS. This one-on-one fight game is built around the idea that your fighter's arms can stretch like Marvel's Mr. Fantastic, or Street Fighter's Dallism. You need to throw some punches to do some damage. Power up your punches and you guessed it, you do more damage. Each of the characters has their own special powers. The arenas can be full of obstacles, changing the way you play the game. And ARM's got Twintel, a character that made the internet go insane when she was revealed a few weeks back.
Two princes locked in conflict.
With God War's Future Past, we get a strategic role-playing game with a dramatic story. Princess Kaguya rises against her fate to be sacrificed to the ancestral spirits and gets help from her childhood friend Kentaro. Together they travel the land in search of answers. The game offers 14 playable characters, with many more classes, skills, and equipment to personalize each of them. Visually, God War's Future Past draws some inspiration from a traditional Japanese ink painting.
If you keep interfering, I'll kill you.
If you want a dramatic story and some classic strategic role-playing, this has to be your pick for the month.
Why does it have to be? Head towards Izumo!
What good would an apology do now?
Seedlings lived in constant fear of the formless, erratic chaos.
Oasis is a whole other role-playing game. This 3DS game is an action-adventure RPG about building a village in an oasis in the middle of a desert.
Oasis to protect from chaos.
You need to solve puzzle dungeons, gather resources, and keep your allies happy. Your allies can, of course, help you on your adventures. You switch between party members in real-time battles. Upon returning home with all of your loot, you can build your village up with more shops to attract more people. Each character in the game has its own set of skills, allowing you to beat bigger and more badass enemies. Oasis could be one of those surprising little summer games. What if you don't like any of the recent RPGs? Then you should try RPG Maker Fez. In this game, you create your own role-playing game with easy-to-use tools. Your creations can even be shared with people who downloaded the 3 RPG Maker app. So basically that means you need to download the free app to get access to completely free homemade role-playing games. Win-win. After the Valkyria Chronicles games, Sega is moving the series in a new direction. Valkyria Revolution is a more action-based role-playing game set in a fantasy future. The game is much more about melee attacks and magical powers. You get to play a group of characters that need to work together to defeat the Ruzi Empire and stop the deadly Valkyria. You can swap characters real-time, allowing you to utilize each character's unique power. Sure, it's not the Valkyria Chronicles, but Valkyria Revolution sure looks like to be an interesting side project for the franchise. If you grew up with the first PlayStation, you'll probably have played Crash Bandicoot. Now Sony is bringing back some of the best platforms ever created. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy packs Crash Bandicoot, Crash Bandicoot 2, Cortex Strikes Back, and Crash Bandicoot Warped. These games have been fully HD remastered. And just for $40, you can relive the best platform adventures from the 90s. There you have it, the 10 best games for this month. Are you planning on getting any of these games? Let us know in the comments. Or maybe we're forgetting one of your most anticipated titles. Be sure to drop us a line as well. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.
Mechanica! Last but not least, it's the heavyweight rocket girl, Mechanica! This whiz kid can activate her boot.